Hey everyone, this is J7Jace bringing you a Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions Rendezvous tier list video. So I'm going to be ranking all 15 of these battles from S all the way to D tier, and I'm going to be looking at their overall design, difficulty, length, etc. And a lot of these, some people will say, oh, they're easy, but honestly, they're hard if you go straight into it with minimal grinding. And even a few of these with grinding and strong gear, they can still be difficult. So with all that being said, let's get started. I'm going to go in order here. So the first one that we can experience is Chocobo Defense. And we have to protect or make sure the two Chocobos here don't get KO'd. And this is probably one of the hardest ones in Chapter 1 if you go right into it. And some of the strategy here is to, mount the Chocobos so they will be protected, and then go after the enemies here, like the thieves, the squires, and the chemists. And it can be annoying. So I do like this different objective here. And yeah, Chocobos are amazing. So I'm going to put this in A. I do like the design, the different sort of battle objective. Like, I know you have to kill all enemies, but you also have to protect the Chocobos, but I still think it's better than protecting Rafa, even though I am a fan of her. So Chocobo Defense gets the A tier. Now Chicken Race, to me, they use this soundtrack. I forget the name of the song, which, isn't in the game normally. But all the enemies here, they're all zombie targets, so a good strategy is to just throw Phoenix Downs. I'm using something different on my video, as you can see here, with the, Beowulf's Break and the lovely Holy Sword, Holy Knight here. But to me, this is just, I'm going to put this in D tier. I thought there could have been a little bit more variety for this one, in my opinion. Now for Treasure Hunt, I do like it. So it's pretty much you have to get the treasure chest at all the way at the end of the map before the enemy does, or you can just KO all of them, which is nice too. So I'm going to put this in above average. I do like B. I do like the different objective as well. I mean, or the option to do it. Of course, to get the 5 stars, you have to KO all the enemies, but it is what it is. Like, I still like this objective. Like, FFT was pretty much just kill all enemies and protect the target. I do like the variety here. Now, Teo, the black Chocobo, he has some other Chocobos with them and some pigs. So for this one, he is a boss fight, but I wish there was more with him. He's like a black Chocobo with a lot more HP, so he's still slow, you know what I mean? So I wish there was more to that for this black Chocobo. They said he's like the fastest and quickest, but his speed set is slow, so I'm going to put this in just average. I do like the whole boss objective here, but even then, more HP and just being faster, hitting harder. Maybe a unique ability for him would have been great. Now, Lost Heirloom here. So there's archers, knights, and a thief. The map, we go back to Gogolo Town, so that's really cool. I should have mentioned the maps earlier. Again, this one is also pretty difficult. I mean, quite difficult, especially if you go into it early. There's a lot of enemies here as well. So I'm gonna put this in just C. Like, I think they could have done something more here, but I do like how we go back to, a battle that we can never visit its location. Now, the Fete or the Fate, I've heard people pronounce it differently. I do like it because there's bards and dancers. However, we don't see them dancing and singing here. Like, it's a disappointment as well. So I really want to put this in D, but we get to see bards and dancers. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in D. I wish we got to see, them dancing and singing. I played this a few times. I never saw it personally, and it's relatively an easier battle. You know what I mean? Even if you unlock it right away, the bards and dancers really aren't too threatening. So there is that. Like, all the other ones before that I had mentioned, could be quite difficult, but bards and dancers, they're just quite easy. It's cool to see them in the enemy colored sprites, but that's about it. Now, Desert Minefield with the bombs, there's a lot of the bombs, and you have to protect the chemist here, our guest. He does have a death quote, by the way. So I'm going to put this in A. It's cool to go back to Zeklos Desert, and we have to protect the target. Again, the AI is really dumb. He just keeps advancing forward, so you got to protect him. So I don't like that, but it's not game over. You know what I mean? This is optional content, so you got to be fast here. So I do like that additional challenge or objective. The bombs really aren't too threatening, I feel, but I do like trying to save the person. Next, we go back to Golan. We are at littering, or I mean the rendezvous mission littering. There's a lot of ninjas here. Some of them, I don't get why they're only holding one weapon. But yeah, I wish everyone had dual wield here. This one can be challenging because the ninjas are so fast. Ninjas can do a lot of damage. I do like that. And you can also catch some high level weapons here. You don't have to go to Midlight Steep or Arguay Woods. I do like the snow aesthetic as well. So I'm going to put this in A tier. Very good battle. Especially, you don't grind too much. The speed of the ninjas is going to be frustrating. Or if you're trying to do it, get 5 stars. Now, Shades of the Past, this one, there's Maluda, there's Knights, there's White Mages. I do like how we go back to the Brigand's Den here, how like we do in Disorder in the Order. And of course, Chapter 1, we base Maluda here. This is where we meet her. I do wish Maluda had more unique abilities. Maybe she had like a Holy Sword as her secondary or something. I know she's practically invincible with the Safeguard Chantage combo, but in the Knights, they're just kind of standard. I'm going to put this in D tier. To me, it just feels like it's more drawn out and long. They could have done a lot more with it here. Like, Maluda has white magic, but she's not even going to heal that much, for herself or her allies. So they could have done more here. Now, the Knights, the next rendezvous mission we're going to look at is Knights Templar. There's several waves of this, so I do like that. And another fun fact, Decisive Battle, the music that plays at Door Trade City the first time you enter it, this is played on the last wave here when you face Volmarv or Vormub, Lofri or Rofel. So I do like the challenge here. I think all waves, I do think like the Mage with Clishan, like that wave is going to be a bit easier, especially if you run Low Faith. But I do like the challenge here. You face Weegraph and all that. And it's a great place to farm Brigand's Glove as well. So I'm going to put this in A tier. The waves are cool and whatnot, so I do like that. And, we have to go back to the church. Now, All-Star Melee is at Garland, and we face several of the cast. Now, the biggest, most threatening enemy here is going to be Orlando. He has the Mana Font, Mana Shield combo. He has Excalibur. It's going to be annoying. This one can be hard. There's also, Malidal as well. She's going to break your equipment, all that. So, jumping into this right away and even later can really catch you off guard. So, I do like the overall difficulty, the music, the design. I'd probably put this in A+. Maybe make this one an A+ tier. You know what I mean? I do like that. Very good match. And, Rams is a Capricorn. Just proves that J7 Jace is the best. I'm just kidding. And Rams, the Capricorns, Muhammad Ali, my best friends, we're all Capricorn. Lidl. Best Zodiac compatibility with Evilis's next top model. But, getting back to the video, the Guarded Temple is next that I'm going to review and look at. So we go back to Nobeska Temple here, and we face a bunch of constructs. There's 2 proto-constructs with HP in the thousands. This battle is timed. You have to be fast. The enemies hit hard. The music is great. I'm going to put this in S tier. It's just difficult. You got to go fast. This was a very well-designed and unique objective. Like, there's no battles where you're timed in Final Fantasy Tactics, but this one you are. You have to take a certain amount of turns to finish them off. I think this is an amazing rendezvous mission. S tier. Maybe I could put it in S+, but definitely got to be mentioned in some of the hardest battles in Final Fantasy Tactics. Even with the right equipment, like, you have to know the abilities, what you're up against. It requires strategy, thinking, and outside the box. Now, Nightmares is also another one of these missions. They're kind of back-to-back here. You face, like, all the Lucavi besides the Elidibus. There's Ultima Demons here, so These enemies are going to do a lot of damage, negative status ailments, and all that. I do not recommend just throwing Orlando in here. He's not going to be your best character for this mission. Like, as you see in my footage for this, I'm also watching it as I'm commentating. The Onion Knights can actually be pretty solid here because of the Onion equipment, making them immune to negative status ailments. The Onion Shield can also protect them. Make sure you have that lower faith. But yeah, females reign supreme here. So this is where I say, while Orlando is the most powerful character, in a very few fights, he may not be the best option. Nightmares is one of these options, or one of the few battles where he's not going to be the best character, in my opinion. So Nightmares gets the S. It's a very difficult, cool fight. So I do like that. The overall design was amazing. Now we're going into Brave Story. Now this one is so long. Like, I probably got to give this an S-, but this one's also very challenging, especially some of the levels. Like, there's 10 total here, especially the Lionel's military, like with the dragons. That one's really tough. We also have the Elmdor one with the assassins. There's a lot. You can also learn Zodiac here as well, a bit earlier on as well, if you set up your summoners right and party setup. And you can also get infinite loyalty robes if you repeat this over and over from stealing from Balmafra. So just because this thing is so long, like, I gotta put it in S-, and I do wish that Dark Knights on the 10th level would use their darkness skills, you know what I mean? Like, they have a cool unique sprite. We see Dark Knights in the thing. There's also that Onion Knight level, which clearly they're based off the Power Rangers. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an S-. Like, it's very challenging. There's waves of it. It's just a bit too long, and I feel like some of the finer details, like Dark Knights should have got their abilities. Balmafra only hits you with her mace. Like, yeah. But I do like Brave Story. This is a challenge. You really have to think about your party setups throughout the levels and all that. So I do like that. And last but not least, it's gonna be in Elwyn. There's like a bunch of enemy Argath and Algus is here. We go back to Fort Zeekton. Sorry, I'm like losing my words here. So in terms of overall design, I don't like how it's just the same guy over and over. But so many people love to take this guy out, you know. I just don't like him in the armor. They could have maybe added, you know, so maybe some like Limberry Castle, you know, military unique sprites or units here as opposed to just August or Argath. Some people are gonna rank this higher, which I completely respect. But for me, I'm just gonna put this in B. Like, it's pretty good. It is challenging, and I don't really recommend Orlando here as well because the Argaths can vampire or bloodsuck you, and that can be annoying. So again, this is one of the few fights where I don't think Orlando is the best option. I still think he can be very good here. He can be destructive. But yeah, those negative status ailments, as well as with in Nightmares especially, I don't think he's the best. He can kill fast, but these Lucavi have HP in the thousands, so that's something to consider. So again, if you didn't play the Rendezvous missions, Tactics League and Tactics Live, you know, they're both wonderful, true Final Fantasy Tactics content creators. They have guides on how you can connect and set yourself up with your friends, or if you want to play with yourself, which is what I did for a lot of this footage. So again, let me know what you guys think on the rankings of these Rendezvous missions. I know some people are probably gonna say, why don't you have an F tier, or why wasn't an Elwind higher, because they love to kill Argath. But hey, I thought this would be a nice, cool video to show people who haven't seen Rendezvous yet. So again, if you made it this far into the channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I give everyone at least a reply. There's been a lot more people, and I love you all. And as always, more Final Fantasy Tactics to come. You know, the War of the Lions, the original, and the Evil East Chronicles, and so on. And with all that being said, I wish you all the best when it comes to your health, wealth, and happiness. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.